Guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Giftogu, and if this is your first time of watching any of my videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber. I make videos about lifestyle, travel, and freelancing. So if this is the kind of content that you'd like to see, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. You guys know what happened to me with regards to making videos about the freelancing platforms. I made a dedicated video explaining why I'm no longer going to be making videos focused on how to grow on various freelancing platforms. And if you have questions, you know where to reach me. You can reach me on Instagram at IamGiftWogu, or on Twitter at Giftwogu. You find me on Twitter. And my email address is also on my bio, I think. So you can reach me via my email address if you want to ask me questions relating to the freelancing website and why I will not be making dedicated videos talking about them again. But I create like very good content on my Instagram with regards to freelancing and how to grow and all that. So in case you're interested in content like that, you should definitely check me out on Instagram. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button below. Like I said earlier, I'm a Lagos-based YouTuber and I make videos about lifestyle, travel, and freelancing. So if these are the kind of content that you'd like to see again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. You guys know I've been struggling with my content regarding what to create. So I thought about this topic and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to make a video about this particular topic. So stay tuned while I tell you 10 career paths for English graduates, English major graduates, or English major students. So in case you're studying English in the university or you have graduated from a department of English in a university or in a polytechnic or whatever, this video is for you. I'm making a video showing you the career and paths that you can actually take. Guys, I studied English and Literary Studies at the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. I majored in English Literature. In my department, there were 4 majors. You can either major in English Literature, English Language, Oral Literature, or African Literature, I think. Yeah, or African Literature. So I majored in English Literature and I studied at the University of Nigeria. Like I've said that before. I remember when I was in second year, I went to a friend's room and her roommate that was studying microbiology asked me, what are you studying? And I'm like, I am studying English and Literary Studies. And she's like, why? Why? And I was like, I want to study English and Literary Studies. And she's like, you're not going to get a job with that. I would have found a better course like law or something more honorable than studying English and Literary Studies. The girl was studying microbiology and I was like, why will you say that kind of thing? And she was like, why will I study English and Literary Studies? Why will I write JAMB and feel English in my JAMB form? I didn't feel English in my JAMB form and all that. I filled another course, but I wanted to study English and Literary Studies. So it didn't just happen that I didn't get any admission and English was the only department willing to take me. No, that's not how it happened. I was already studying a different course, and after my first year I changed to English and Literary Studies and had to repeat my first year in the university, which is why currently I have my degree in English and Literary Studies and I work as a brand manager for a tech startup. Prior to that, I have worked in public relations as a content manager and I've done content management for public relations agencies and even normal agencies. So which is why I'm the best person to tell you the career path that you can choose as an English graduate. I'm going to mention 10 of them, but aside that, there are a whole lot. People actually think that when you study English, you have to be a teacher. But do you? If you want to be a teacher, you can be a teacher if you want to be, but you don't have to be a teacher, especially if you don't want to be a teacher. There's no specific rule that states that once you have a degree in English and Literary Studies, you definitely need to be a teacher. You really do not have to be a teacher. So I'm going to give you career paths that you can actually go through as number 1, public relations. You can actually be a public relations officer, public relations executive, public relations manager. And you know why this is exciting? Because you can work in a PR agency as a public relations executive or an account executive, or you can also work in a normal agency that's not a PR agency as a marketing communications officer or a public relations officer. Let me explain to you how it works. I worked in a public relations agency sometime in 2017 when I was done with school after my project defense, before I went for the National Youth Service, which is compulsory here in Nigeria. I got a job in a public relations agency and I was working as a content manager. So I was creating content for the brands that we were doing PR for. I'm not going to mention some of the brands so that you don't know the agency, except you know me on LinkedIn or whatever. But we're writing campaigns and creating content for these brands. Now I work as a brand manager, and it's still PR related duties, okay? So you can, and every organization has like a public relations department. My mom works with the federal government, and I know that in her office they have like their PR department. They're responsible for press releases and just a bunch of stuff. So if you have a degree in English and Literary Studies and you're confused with regards to the career path that you should take, you can look into public relations, read up about it, and like just know what it's about, and even apply for internships in public relations agencies. I'll always recommend that you work first with an agency before going to work with a normal organization, with a non-public relations organization, because the agency will explain to you what public relations is about before you move on to working for a non-PR organization. But so you can work in advertising. I think advertising is very exciting. There are a whole lot of things to do in advertising. You can work as an account executive, you can work as an advertising copywriter, you can work as an advertising assistant when you have an English degree. It depends on what you really want. All this depends on what you really want. But this video is about non-teaching career paths for English graduates. So if you don't want to be a teacher and you're confused regarding what to do as a graduate of English, you can actually look into working as an advertising assistant, an advertising executive, or as an advertising copywriter. There are a whole lot of career paths in advertising, and like I mentioned in public relations, I think it would make more sense if you get a job in an advertising agency first of all, because from the advertising agency you can actually move on to brands to work as their brand manager, as their senior advertising executive, marketing communications manager, and you know, all the advertising related roles, okay? So you can also take up a career in advertising if you're confused regarding what to do as a graduate of English and Literary Studies or as a student of English and Literary Studies. I think it's also important that you try to do these internships in these agencies. Try to do your internship. I know for English departments here in Nigeria, internships are not compulsory, but I did an internship in my third year, even though it was not compulsory. So you can look out for organizations here in Nigeria and maybe just do an internship during your summer holiday. It will give you like work experience and you will have like an idea of what it looks like. For instance, I did my internship in the bank, and after working there and working in PR, I knew that I was not going to go back to the bank again. I was going to pursue a career in public relations. You guys understand? The third thing that you can do as a graduate of English is to be a broadcast journalist. There are a whole lot of broadcast journalists that studied English and Literary Studies or just English. So if you like to talk, you have like a nice voice, they've been hyping you that, oh my god, your voice is so angelic, your voice is so heavenly, your voice is so nice, it sounds like tiny drops of heaven and all that stuff. You might want to check out being a broadcast journalist. And if you've always loved a career in journalism, especially in radio or even TV, you should consider a career in broadcast and broadcast journalism. I think it's important that you look out for that career path, and it does not involve teaching, especially if you don't want to teach, okay? The fourth thing that you can actually do as a graduate of English or as an English major student is to be an editor. If you know that you have an eye for words, for bad English. My lecturer always say your grammar is terrible and even smells. Not to me anyway, because I was trying, okay? But my lecturer always say your grammar is terrible and even smells. So if you know that you know how to perceive bad grammar, if you can perceive bad grammar, okay, you know how to perceive bad grammar. You look at a sentence and you can point out the errors in the errors in the sentence construction. You know the problem with the punctuation. You know the problem with the spelling. You know everything that is wrong with that particular sentence. You can make it better. You know how to change from passive voice to active voice, and just like a bunch of stuff that make a sentence solid, or that makes a sentence solid. You know how to spot errors. You might consider a career in editing. The good thing about editing is that you can edit a whole lot of things. You can edit blog posts, you can edit ebooks, you can be an ebook editor, you can be a copy editor, editing copies, you can be a line editor. There are a whole lot of editing career paths for you that you can actually look into. So if you know that you have an eye for grammar and you are very sound when it has to do with looking for errors, you should definitely check out a career in editing. And the fifth thing that you can do as an English graduate or as an English major student is to be a web content manager. I'm sure you've seen like the job postings on different websites, and we're like, we're looking for a web content manager. We're looking for a web content manager that will manage our website, that will create content for our website. Some of them even go further to look for technical writers, SEO writers. If you don't know what SEO is, it means search engine search engine optimization. It means search engine optimization. I feel that if you're a web content writer, it's very important to know your SEO. You need to know your SEO, okay? Because that's how the content that you're writing is going to rank, and it's important that this content actually, the content that you're creating for your employer or whatever, ranks. So if you know how to write, you know how to tell stories, because blog posts, they don't have to be boring, okay? Even technical writing, there's a way to make it interesting. So if you know that you enjoy writing, you can be a web content manager. It's a career path. Trust me, I do web content, okay? So it's a career path, but you need to know your SEO. Very important. You need to know your SEO, and I recommend that you start from the Google has like a digital marketing certification called Google Digital Skills for Africa or something. You can check your location if you're not in Africa, but I know that they have like something like that for you if you want to go into web content creation and you want to learn the basics of SEO. I think it's very important, okay? So you should check out a career in web content writing and make sure you learn your SEO, okay? If you want to go into technical writing, that's still fine. It's still under web content management. So web content management is a career path for those who enjoy writing short form stuff, maybe 1,000 words, 2,000 words, 500 words, and all that. So if you don't know what to do, you're still confused, look into web content management. Number 6, ghostwriting. Ghostwriting is my major niche on the freelancing platforms. I am a ghostwriter, okay? So I ghostwrite fiction and non-fiction. For fiction, I ghostwrite contemporary romance fiction. For contemporary romance fiction, I'm just trying to niche it down to show you how broad writing is, how broad ghostwriting is, how broad fiction writing is, how broad romance writing is. So I said I do ghostwriting on the freelancing platform. So I ghostwrite. You guys, first of all, you know that I have like a day job and freelancing is my side hustle, okay? So on the freelancing platforms, I'm a ghostwriter. I ghostwrite ebooks, non-fiction and fiction ebooks. For fiction, I ghostwrite romance, and not just the whole romance niches and all, because there's paranormal romance, there's sci-fi, there's they just have a lot. There's Western romance, like there are a bunch of them, okay? So I focus on contemporary romance, and in contemporary romance, I don't write everything. Like there are certain tropes that I am really good at, which is friends to enemies, enemies to friends, enemies to lovers, friends to lovers, and billionaire bad boy trope. I can't remember, something about holding the just a bunch of tropes that I'm really good at, okay? So I'm just explaining how broad it is. So if you don't enjoy contemporary romance and you know how to write Western romance, you know how to write paranormal romance, you know how to write sci-fi, definitely check out romance writing and just like take up a career there, okay? If you also know how to write non-fiction books, you're not really good in writing fiction, you don't really know how to create stories, and you just rather focus on non-fiction, there's also a career path there, non-fiction ghostwriting. So you can ghostwrite ebooks. I've written a lot of ebooks on various non-fiction topics. For instance, I've written an ebook on meditation, on sleeping habits, on business, on generational wealth, on pregnancy, on hydroponic planting, on health, on fitness, on dieting, on positive affirmations, on wellness, on a bunch of topics. So I think it's very broad, and if you want to go into ghostwriting, you really don't want to teach, but you feel that you can ghostwrite, you need to ask yourself, what exactly do you enjoy writing? Would you rather write fiction or non-fiction? If you write fiction, what kind of fiction are you good in writing? Do you like writing suspense, thrillers, or you guys? The seventh thing that you can do as an English graduate is that you can work as a social media manager. You can work as a social media manager. And I know I'm laughing because people don't actually think that social media management is a job, but it is a job, okay? It's a job. It's not easy to understand how social media works. But as a social media manager, your job is very broad. It sounds like an easy job, but it's not. You need to understand social media, understand its teeth. You need to understand the different social media platforms and how they work. And the major social media platforms are Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. So these social media platforms work differently. As a social media manager, you need to understand how these various platforms work. You also need to know how marketing on these social media platforms work, because Instagram marketing and Facebook marketing is different from how to market on LinkedIn, or how to create a campaign on Twitter, or even how to create a campaign on Pinterest and even YouTube. So you need to understand how social media works, how to create exciting content on social media that will keep your followers or your audience glued, and at the same time you need to sell market, okay? You need to sell what you need to sell the services or the products that you're offering. So your content should be engaging and at the same time entertaining, okay? And it should be informative too and persuasive. So your social media post is not supposed to be very salesy. I think we'll probably talk about this whole social media thing another thing, because in another video, because I'm not about to explain social media in this video about what English graduates can do, okay? But I'm just saying that social media is very broad. So if you understand how the various social media platform works, you also understand marketing on the various social media platforms. You also understand how content creation on the various social media platforms should be. You know that LinkedIn is more serious, Instagram is more, you know, aesthetically pleasing and all that. You know how it works. Then I think we are on the right track. The eighth thing that you can actually do as an English graduate is to work in human resources. I don't be like, you can work in human resources as an English graduate, okay? If you studied English and literary studies, you have a career path in human resources, and if you want to pursue it, I think that that's amazing. So what you can do in human resources, you know that HR people actually create ads, job ads that you see on Indeed, on you know, LinkedIn and all that. So it's your, like, if you know that you're good at things like that, and as an English person, you as expected to know how to speak properly, okay? Pronounce your words correctly. I'm not saying you get it right all the time, but I think you should just be way above your non-English graduate mates in pronouncing words and speaking properly. And I'm not saying you should use an accent and be saying one and gonna. Just speak with your normal accents. Make sure that people understand what you are talking about, okay? So you can also check out a career path in human resources. The ninth thing that you can do as an English graduate is to work as a voiceover artist, recording ads and all that. If you know that they've told you that your voice is interesting, just like I talked about broadcast journalists. If you know that somebody has told you that your voice is heavenly, your voice is so good, it's so freaking good, it's time to put your voice into good use. Let your voice bring in some coins for you. So if you've not considered a career path in voiceover, you should definitely. Ads need to be voiced, a lot of things. I think I had a gig on Fiverr voiceover, and I did a couple of voiceover jobs, yeah, for some ads. Okay, so if you think that your voice is good enough, you might want to consider a career path in voiceover as a voiceover artist. Number 10, not 10, okay. Number 10, the 10th thing that you can actually do as a graduate of English and literary studies, or as an English major, is that you can work as a customer service representative or a call center agent. As an English graduate, you studied some courses that will help you with your pronunciation. For instance, in my first year, I studied phonetics. I also studied spoken English in my second year, and we did a lot of phonetics, how to pronounce the words properly, how to pronounce the the words of the letters of the English alphabet, and just a bunch of stuff. So you are supposed to understand how to speak correctly as an English graduate, which is why customer service or being a customer service representative or a call center agent is interesting enough as a career for you as an English graduate. So if you've been looking for a career path and you feel that you like to please customers, you just want customers to be happy, you enjoy making people feel better than they were before they came to you, then being a customer service representative is the career path for you. You need to consider a career in customer service. In customer service, yeah, they're going to stress you, okay? They're going to stress the out of you. But what's exciting is that you actually love what you do and you know how to pass your message across properly. I make this video because like people feel that when you study English, you automatically become a teacher, and that's not, you don't automatically become a teacher except you want to be a teacher. If you don't want to be a teacher, you don't have to be a teacher. There are non-teaching career paths for English graduates, which is why I made this video, because I studied English, graduated, and I have never, the only thing I teach is freelancing. I have never taught anybody anything like, I've never taught in a school. I'm not saying that it's bad to teach, but if you have the passion for teaching, that's fine. But if you don't have the passion for teaching, don't let anybody tell you that you cannot get any other job aside teaching if you study English and literary studies, okay? So thank you so much guys for watching this video. Oh, you can also get a career in publishing if it's something that you love, okay? Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I said to my English channel. To my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram as I am Gift2Ogu. So like come your way again next time. Be good, be nice to your neighbors, and bye.